Hey guys, Louis here from Saks Wealth. So what I thought I'd do today is just give you an insight in regards to research and information I'm finding in the background in regards to the area that I cover, which is Bournemouth and Poole here in sunny Dorset down south. So I'm just going to zoom out, and while I'm doing that, so as you may know, I cover helping people build a hands-free portfolio down here in the south. That's a given. What I also do is help bring a team to the table so that you know which person is going to be finding you the deals, which person's going to potentially be doing the building work on the project, as well as having solicitors and brokers in the background finding you the best products and getting you through the legal system as quickly as possible as well. But the area, what you might not know about, is more about the intricacies of the area and the research that goes into making sure that you're finding properties that are going to benefit you, both with capital appreciation long term and medium term, and also gaining you a rental yield or income every month, which is what you want. And there's many steps that are involved in making sure there's a good product that's coming together in regards to a tangible asset that is providing a comfortable place to live for the tenants, as well as you having the reassurance that you're covered as a landlord with a product that's going to be hot, wind and watertight, that isn't going to be causing you aggro with tenants calling you with complaints, as well as finding that you've found it at a good price, whether it's a good price next to near market value, or it's been brought at a discounted price, because we've helped you find it with up to 20 different ways that we can help find you discounted properties. Sometimes that's really important, but if you're in a strong enough area, that it's not necessarily as important to get a heavily discounted property as people may think that's being publicised. But here's where I cover. So here's London up the top here for reference. You got Wales up there, nowhere near the little drive down the road for either of them, but we are tucked away down here. And what you might think is, okay, well, I'm interested to invest in the area. Beautiful beaches, heard stuff like that at Hangersbury Head, Old Harry Rocks, Brownsea Island, Sandbanks, Jurassic Coast, which, to give you a reference point, so we've got Swanage down here in Wareham. So we've got Lulworth, Jurassic Coast down here. Got Sandbanks around here, Hangersbury Head up here. We've got the New Forest up the top for Southampton. Hitting the dual carriageway in the motorway, easy enough to get over there to London if you've got business over there, and the Isle of Wight round the corner. But of course, we've got sandy beaches linking together Bournemouth, Poole and Christchurch. So that's a good 7 miles worth of award-winning beaches, and it really attracts tourism, and it has been attracting tourism since 1870s. So tourism does play a big part in the area. It is an area more towards the Sandbanks area where people like to live and buy higher value but more desirable properties. So there's a range of properties ranging from £10 million in the Bournemouth, Poole, Christchurch area, and then you've got properties coming down to just below £200,000. So there's a wide vary. People who aren't familiar with the area, you might be thinking, okay, well, with all of that going on, where do I look? Where do I look to buy? To where's safe for me to invest my money in these areas? And do people actually like to live there? So what I've done, and I thought I'd cover a bit more on this, and also a quick little fact I found in the Sandbanks area is that there was a beach hut, just a hut, so no heating. You can't sleep in there. A beach hut went for £485,000. So this is how much of a desirable area it can be for some people going towards the higher ends, water sports and tourism, luxuries that are out there. And down here we can offer that, and there is a lot of lifestyle in these areas. So for reference, so from an investment point of view, this is Bournemouth, Poole and Christchurch. The green areas are areas that aren't deprived, and then we've got some areas in red which are more of a deprived area, just to ring fence it and make it clearer for just to kind of power phrase that them areas of or really emphasize where them areas are. And then the orange areas are Um, they're not heavily overpopulated or deprived, but they're more desirable to live in. Now, areas where you can buy properties for a reasonable price that don't have the high crime rate I've highlighted here. So we've got, starting from the left, Swanage, which is across the sea in the chain ferry, or you can drive around. So it's logistics wise, it's a bit out of the way, but that's quite a low crime area, and property prices there can be reasonable. It's more at the higher end of the scale, where you're ranging between 250 to 400,000 pounds for a property there. We've got Hilborn, Camford Heath areas as well, West Howe, East Howe. So these areas, they have their streets where you don't really want to invest in, but there are areas where the properties can be cheaper. And then we've got Holdenhurst area as well, and there's a nice shopping complex area around that area. So if you're looking for cheapest areas and potentially benefit from a bit of capital growth, then these are sort of areas where you can take a closer look at them. But where we go as property packagers and the people who are your personal shoppers, agents on the ground, where we go further and help you in regards to discovering where emerging markets are within the Bournemouth, Bournemouth and Poole area closer, as we go further. So we can check government websites in regards to which areas have less crime going on, where people own properties, where there are houses with an area with more detached houses rather than flats. So we know these are more desirable areas where people are going out and they're working and they want to come back to a place where they're comfortable to live. And these are the sort of areas where we want to be tapping into. So we don't want the cheapest areas, which is what we're looking at on this particular screen. And we're not looking to buy into areas where properties are tens of millions of pounds, because there's just no profit to be made. So what I've put together here, and I hope you like my map. So we're coming in south of England, zooming in. Don't know if you like my map here. So what we've got for a reference point is we've got areas here in the pink which are kind of ex-council areas. So these are areas where you might not want to live for yourself or for your tenants, and if you do, you might be having problems, and the capital appreciation may not be working in your favour as much. So we've got areas in Poole here in the pink, and coming into Bournemouth as well. So you can see we've done some legwork for you to check these areas out. Where's the ex-council estate areas where properties might be? There's nothing wrong with the property. They're nice and strong, got storage space, and there is an established community going on there. So you can buy a property tomorrow in them areas, but these are the areas where, if we're looking to provide you with something that's going to be providing you with good capital appreciation as well as a rental yield for you to build a portfolio of wealth through tangible property, then what we want to be looking is how can we investigate further and do more checks for you in the background to make sure we're buying in an area that's really going to make your money work harder. So that's where we take a closer look at the schools. So in the purple and the blue flagged areas, so over here we can see which schools are coming up on Ofsted as outstanding. So we know exactly where they are. So that might mean there's more of a congregation of people buying in that area who want to stay there because they've got their kids in school and they want to make sure that those areas are comfortable to live in for at least 10 years. Moving on from the schools, we're noting down next areas where we have more emerging markets coming into the scene. Now these emerging markets, where does that come from? Where does that information come from? You might be thinking, and how is it live for now? Because markets go up and down. There's negative press from the media, and you never know where you're coming or going. And when you're looking at a town for the first time and you want to be comfortable with where you're placing your money, you want to know that the person who's leading you to consider a deal is providing you with an area that's going to make your money work harder in the future. And these are areas where you've got a mix of the older generation, you've got a mix of detached houses, the bungalows, semi-detached, and there's not lots of flats, there's not a lot of crime, and people are spending money to improve their property. And because of that, when your tenant's coming into the area or you're coming into the area, you're seeing people looking after the properties. They're larger properties, and people are actually developing them. It actually becomes a nice, pleasant place to live. And there's typically amenities around the area, so there might be a Waitrose, there might be parks. There's parking in the area, and people aren't congregating around the shops at night time. And there's not lots. Typically, if there's lots of betting shops in the area as well, that's a sign that it's not the most affluent area as well. But you want somewhere in the middle, so that's what we're aiming for. And that's some of these areas that I've got marked out in the orange and the blacks for reference. And what this means is when I'm going out looking for a property for you, you can expect 9 times out of 10 these properties are going to be in these areas. And that means when I'm going out there searching for a property, you're going to be finding that a property presented to you as a property that's going to be expected to have good capital appreciation in the future, regardless if it's bought at a discount or not. Good capital appreciation in the future because people are going to be buying in that area. The rental yield is going to be more than servicing itself. And at the same time, if you was to explore forcing new money to be generated from that property, then potentially we can have conversations around improving the property further by adding extra rooms, increasing the size of the floor plan, going up into the loft, extending into the garage as well, or extending out the back as well under permitted development. Of course, we can guide you through the whole process. I've dealt with construction from the plumbing, electrics, scaffolding, building works, ground up works, light refurbishments, heavy refurbishments, 6-figure refurbishments, collectively 7-figure worth of refurbishments and conversions in property and development, working with teams of 15 people or so, dealing with big contracts, meeting surveyors, meeting architects, dealing with contracts as well, making sure wages are paid as well. So working with the builders that are going to be helping with any potential works that we're doing to the property to help force appreciation further, where you can potentially refinance a property, take your money out and benefit from buying the next property quicker, and or having a pot of money that you can do what you want to support the lifestyle that you're looking to live. These are the sort of opportunities that are going to be coming along because I'm out there finding emerging markets, setting you up with a builder, overseeing and coordinating the works for you, and helping bring to life this aspiration to have a property portfolio that you can be proud of, that's in an area or areas where you would live yourself. And you just need to be in a position where you're a bit stuck with where you want to invest. You want somebody to guide you through the process, potentially have it hands off as much as possible, and you're prepared to venture into refurbishments, possibly conversions, possibly loft extensions. And then if you're willing to do that, then we can really be helping your money work so much harder for you rather than leaving it in the bank earning next to nothing. And we can use the power of property to use some of the funds you want to park in property to buy the property, refurbish it, and then refinance it. And realistically, somebody else is taking more of the risk on the property because the banks will support you with purchases of properties. I know there's higher stamp duty and there's other costs involved, And none of this is financial advice, but you can have tangible assets which you can be proud of, supporting people looking for desirable areas to live in, and you can add your own personal touch on there. Have somebody who's willing to see the vision and see how far you want to go with this, and be able to place your money safely and confidently in an area which is up and coming, and not only put it into an area which is good in general, but be able to find your emerging markets that are next to good schools, next to good amenities. And again, people are looking to move into that area as quickly as possible for medium to long term, which is exactly what you want. And it all supports the portfolio that you're looking to put together, whether you want to keep it or possibly sell it in the future, but we always advise to keep it. So if you're looking to build wealth in the Bournemouth Poole area, speak to myself, Louis Carter at Sachs Wealth. So I'm here. Any assistance you want, please feel free to ask. Have a good day.